All of a sudden, when the bus stopped, it blew up. They had a terrorist attack on the bus. We take over your phone from far, and we actually can hear everything going on.
Okay, so what is all this?
So we're like Uber for life-saving and for free. So this weapon is actually to save lives. Wow. Everything we do is for free. Now we have an average of 6 emergencies every minute. We build a bomb shelter underground, same dispatch, ready to go, in a ballistic missile protection center. That's a Texas idea.
Okay.
Looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
You can put it up. The equipment that goes inside the ambicycle, so it's everything an ambulance has, besides for a stretcher. This is all the medical supplies that an ambulance has. The, oxygen, resuscitation equipment, IV equipment, trauma equipment, reviving someone. Everything is in the back of this ambucycle. So the volunteer who's driving this is ready to jump and save someone any moment of the day or night. This is a defibrillator that goes in the back of the ambulance ambucycle, and it actually helps to start someone's heart. If you get there fast enough, you have a higher chance of saving that person with a defibrillator. So everything that you need to save someone's life is here. I'll show you how it goes. It's all protected. It has here
Insulation?
Insulation. See, everything fits in here. You have also room for more personal stuff you can put in here. And then this closes. And if you're driving, having another paramedic on the back, so it's like this, but if you're not, if you have only one, you want to make sure the heavy weight doesn't go above, it has to go above the wheel for safety reasons. But
oh wow.
this is, we invented this. Everything is our invention here. And other organizations slowly are copying our model.
Right.
So when I used to sit in the back of an ambulance when I was 16 years old, I used to see the ambulance stuck in traffic, people beeping, the siren is on, but I used to see pizza delivery motorcycles passing us from the right and left. And I always said, if I ever choke, I'm calling for a pizza. These guys with the pizza are gonna come with the motorcycles and gonna save my life. And when I was able to do it, when I was 16 and a half years old, after the tragedy, I saw of a child 7 years old die, just waiting for help. I decided United Hatzalah is going to have motorcycles save lives, and we call it the Ambucycle, which is this. It's an ambulance cycle, and it has everything you need. It even has the lights and sirens. You have everything here.
Can you turn them on?
Yeah.
That's loud. Very loud.
It has to be loud because we're a small little bike. We want to make sure people see us. When you see that truck there, you see that truck?
Yeah.
He has to hear our noise so he can make sure to move and give us the right pathway to just save someone.
Okay.
So, Shloime, are you ready to go on a ride on an ambicycle?
Absolutely.
He did a lot of crazy stuff. Iraq, Afghanistan, New York City, many dangerous places. But never on an ambicycle in Jerusalem.
This might be the most dangerous one yet.
It might.
Let's do it. Okay. Let's go back to the stable. Do I have to hold on to you, or
You can hold on here.
Okay,
Hold on
perfect.
here.
Now we have that. It's good. Hey, we're ready to go. Okay, so we are about to take off.
Yes, are you ready?
I think so. I hope so.
All right. Wait a second, I have to go. Yeah, a little.
Okay.
See, the roads are very narrow in many cities in Israel. Jerusalem in specific, very, very narrow roads.
Right.
This is what makes us so successful.
crowded area to show me what it's like?
Yeah, we're gonna go into the most crowded area in Jerusalem. It's called Mea Shearim.
Okay, so we're just stopped at a red light. Eli, how much did these cost?
It's plus $36,000, fully loaded with everything.
And how many do you have in the organization?
Over 1,200.
Wow. So it's just private people donating these?
Yeah, we have people donating. We had Jay Leno
Really?
donate a couple of them just a while back, and we have people who just want to name them. They have their family's name on it, and they get reports of how many lives it's saved.
Cool. So if I want to give $36,000, I can have my name on a motorcycle, and I'll get a report how often about how many calls it went on.
Yeah, go every couple months. You get a report of your ambicycle activity and how many lives it saved, and you
amazing.
actually get to meet the volunteer who's your partner.
Cool.
It's a very tangible way of supporting an organization when you know where your money is going to.
Right.
Some streets are so narrow that even us have a hard time getting in. We have to maneuver
Very, very narrow. Wow.
very
This
narrow.
is the whole idea.
But if I promise you one thing, that if I put on my lights, my siren, they all have respect and will move to the side. The bus will move to the right, the car will move to the left, and I just pass by. And that's the idea.
Okay.
And it's very narrow, so you could really go through some situations like this. You see the car in front of us, it's blocking it, but with the siren, he will start moving right away and letting us go through. Here, this is a good example I can show you.
Okay. Well done.
And I want to show you someone interesting.
Okay.
I have a volunteer who's one of our lifesavers, and he works in a fish shop. He actually, I'm gonna introduce you to him. He has a fish shop, and he stops his work every time someone needs help. Sometimes he comes with the boots, and he goes to save someone, and they smell the smell. They wake up just from the fish smell, and they run away. Like, we're going on a sidewalk. This is something you could do in an ambicycle, not in a car. Yeah.
Oh, that's his thing parked right there.
Hatzalah.
Okay, this is Hatzalah.
He's taking an order of fish. He's a volunteer of Hatzalah, and he works here in a fish shop in Mea Shearim. And this is his ambucycle.
Right there.
So every time he gets an emergency, he goes with the rope. And when they smell him, they run away. Every time. It doesn't matter if the guy's dead. The guy wakes up. Hatzalah, you're the best guy in the world. We love you.
Where are we going now?
We're going to see Mea Shearim, narrow street.
Okay.
Driving a sidewalk now, because otherwise we can't get through. I don't know how to explain it. People who are never here, this is like being in Pennsylvania in Amish land, more or less. This is Facebook of Mea Shearim. I'll show you how they put on posts in Mea Shearim. This is when they want people to know about anything. They don't have internet here. They post. This is the real Facebook before Facebook was created. We're going back a few hundred years now.
I feel like you're attacking me. I live this way.
I know. I'm just kidding.
I know it.
This is a beautiful area, by the way. And, a lot of nice people live here.
It's a big mess.
I'm going to show you the University of the ultra-Orthodox of the world, the top university, the Harvard of the Orthodox
Yeshiva world.
Yeshiva world, which is called the Mir
That's the yeshiva and the traffic that it creates.
Traffic. I remember here around 15 years ago, more than 15, sorry, 20 years ago, that a terrible attack in a bar mitzvah here. And I was on an ambicycle and I arrived here, and what I saw was a terrible event where a bar mitzvah turned into a massacre of a terrorist. And we were able to save a couple of people, including a little baby. The baby's married today.
So it seems like you really keep up with all these like people who are saved and people you've interacted with over the years.
I do try my best to that keeps me going, to know that someone I saved many years ago is alive today and building a family. Whoever saves one life saves the entire world. It's the Talmud. And I know you save one person, and that will continue the world, continue with other generations. So whenever I see someone I saved many years ago has babies now, I say this is the goal why I'm doing it.
So those babies are here.
Another volunteer of Hatzalah.
Hello.
We see each other, we get excited. We see another volunteer. Nice, he's ready to save lives. And this is the beauty thing. The yeshiva here, in this building, we have a lot of yeshiva students who actually volunteer for us. And they could be in the middle of the studies or praying. They would stop their prayers and jump to save someone's life. Look at this. It's like a pedestrian mall here.
Yeah.
By the way, they even have not only black and white Facebook, colored Facebook here. Hey, hi.
See, everyone knows you.
Nah, they know you. They don't know me.
No one's talking to me, they're talking to you.
They don't recognize you with the pay as hidden. It's a lot of satisfaction going and meeting people I save all the time. That keeps me going. I was invited just a couple of months ago to a wedding of a child that I saved when he was a kid in my neighborhood, and when he was choking. And I arrived there, I was able to save him. It was the middle of the night, and I never followed up with the family. But one day I got a wedding invitation. Couldn't figure out who that is, and then I got a phone call. They said, "Did you get our wedding invitation?" I said, "What it was about?" They said you saved his life. And it was just incredible to get an invitation to someone I saved his life so many years ago. I forgot about. Everything is very close. Jerusalem is connected. It's one city of diversity, of religious people, secular people, Christians and Muslims and Jews all living in each other, around each other. So we have to learn how to get together. United Hatzalah is actually a great sample of how people get along.
So finished with the motorcycle, and now I'm on an ambulance with a couple of volunteers. Can you introduce yourself? So you're from the ladies division. How many years have you been doing this?
Just 1 year.
1 year. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And who else is here?
Rachel.
Rachel. And
Amir.
Amir. And you are Arab, right?
Yeah.
And you're working with a Jewish organization, which is beautiful.
Yes.
So it's
Because
just.
the most important thing is saving lives.
Can you say that again?
The most important thing is saving lives.
I think it's so beautiful that people from all different backgrounds can come together to do good things, and this is really an example of how the whole world should be running. We have to look past our differences and focus on what we can do to make the world a better place.
Matria?
What happened? What's your name?
Here.
Here. נראה לי שלפני 8 שנה, about 8 years ago, I fainted down the street on, and he came. I remember.
הוא אומר שהוא זוכר אותך. לפני איזה 8 שנים בערב, היה לו איזה מקרה פה, והוא זוכר את הפנים שלך שאתה הגעת ועזרת. התייבשות היה לו, זה היה בקיץ. הרבה שנים חיים כל הזמן. כל הכבוד.
Somebody was eating shawarma in a shop right here, and the person choked. Hatzalah volunteer was down the block, walked over, or probably ran over, and started doing CPR, and I was standing there watching as they brought this person back to life. It was unbelievable. I was like, for you guys, you see this every day. I was just standing there and I was saying Tehillim, I was praying. But thank God the person is breathing now and on the way to the hospital.
Yes.
Yeah, how many years have you been doing this?
5 years.
And Rachel?
I'm also 5 years.
So now you park, what happens now? You park somewhere and wait, or you drive around town?
Just drive around town. We can drive around town. We can have a wait somewhere. Wait for the next call to come in.
Right. How often do they come in?
It really depends. Every day is very different. Every day is very different. One day you can have a time where you don't sit still, like Yom Ha'atzmaut in the Israel Independence Day. We had 10 calls within a minute. And then you can be stopped by people on the side of the road. And there were days where you can sit around for an hour, 2 hours, and there'll be no calls coming.
So it just depends on how busy things are, and
Yeah.
obviously I'm assuming during the night it's quieter.
Also, very, very dependent. It can be you can have a night where you go to sleep all night, and you can have a night where you don't see the end of the ambulance. You go from hospital to call to hospital.
Okay, so another call just came in and we're running over there.
At the moment, I'm just taking off the siren because there's no way for me to push the traffic to make splitting of the sea.
Right, so just to wait till they move.
So now I just wait for a green light because I have not enough room to get the ambulance through. If I can, sometimes I wait, cause an effect of splitting the sea in the traffic. At the moment, there's just no way of doing that. I have to drive according to the driving conditions.
Because of the red light?
Yeah. Always looking for a free space I can cut off. Because it's up it's very high, it's not going.
We just had a very interesting call. A woman was feeling like she couldn't breathe. The volunteers came with the ambulance. They checked her out. Her blood pressure was fine. Everything seems to be fine. But they asked her if she's had any stress in her life, and it turns out that her husband recently passed away. And sometimes stress can cause people's health to act up and make them feel like they can't breathe or like they're going to collapse. So we just transported this woman to the hospital where she's going to be checked out and make sure that everything's okay. But that was just a very interesting call. Looks like she's going to be fine. So you're getting the stretcher ready for the next patient?
Yeah. Behind you. Each time we come to the hospital, once we free the beds up, we change everything around so we're ready for the next call. The sheets will be changed, the ambulance will be cleaned, and then we're ready for the next call.
Got it. So just when they finished dropping off that person at the hospital, another call came in and we are heading there right now. So this is the Hatzalah volunteer who was doing the CPR earlier today, and he literally saved somebody's life. And he said it's the fourth time that he did CPR on somebody in the last 8 days, literally saving lives every single day. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Thank you for your service. Thank you. Thank you. Can you show me around the...
Okay, so here we have the first aid bag,
Okay.
which we take with us on every call. Alongside that, we take an oxygen, which has oxygen masks for both children and adults, and also the defibrillator, which is for personal for times of resuscitation. But also, on the call, you never know who you're going to meet on the call. So we always go down with these three things, the most important things in the ambulance.
Okay.
So we have a fridge to transport blood if needed.
Okay.
Gloves for safety measures. You have a printer to print out documents. A lamp for any major trauma incidents. You have the drawers that contain masks, water. Sometimes people need water. You have here the sheets to cover the bed with, so keep it hygienic. Up here we have bags for in case of death, multiple deaths.
Body bags?
Body bags, exactly. Here we have all the utensils you would need access to on an ambulance shift. So you have needles for sugar, you have the sugar blood sticks, you have glucogel, which is used for somebody's diabetes, you have quick bandages, gloves, needles to open a vein if needed to give liquids, antiseptic. Over here we have the bed. Over here we have the big thing for the corona. The corona is
The protective clothing.
Gear
Yeah.
for the corona. Over here you have all the bandage needs. Anything that needs dressing, all dressings needs for dressing. Over here you have a big oxygen tank, which is kept safe in there, which we transfer to. Anything to clean the ambulance, alcohol gel, things to clean with. This is what we call a velunka. It's an army bed to transport in the field where you need to transport quickly. The chair, which we're going down steps, we need to bring the patient down. Straps here and here are used to strap the person to a backboard.
Okay.
Here we have anything for burns and tags in a mass casualty.
Okay.
To tag the people in what state they're in. So that's for mass casualty. Here we have oxygen masks, the oxygen masks. Here there are oxygen masks for children, which are obviously smaller. Here we have catheters and airway systems to use in patients that are not breathing. Saline if I wanted to open a vein to give liquid to somebody who's dehydrated or a pregnant person. We have spare oxygen tanks on either side.
Mm-hmm.
Fire extinguisher in case of fire.
And
These helmets and bulletproof jackets in case of a terrorist attack or any sort of heavy accidents and commercial accidents that have taken place.
have you ever worn one of these?
Just in the practice protocol.
Okay. Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. We have neck braces for people that are involved in car accidents
Right.
or falls on their back. To be able to collect your items and needs. And then at the bottom is all the things for the running of the ambulance.
Got it.
As
Like
a
maintenance.
vehicle. Yeah, maintenance of the vehicle.
Okay.
I have a camera here as well to see my patient while I'm driving. I can see what my crew are doing to the patient and direct them if needed. Lights, documents, and the garbage can.
So thank you very, very much for all your help today, for showing me around and for taking me along on this journey. I've learned so much, and I hope to just share it with the world, and people should see what you're doing and the sacrifices you make and how you are all making the world a much better and safer place.
I hope that people could choose United Hatzalah and know that we offer a service which is with a smile and free of charge.
It's very important. Thank you. Having spent the day with your volunteers, I've seen amazing things. It completely changed my perspective on the whole organization, and I've known a lot about the organization till now, but now it's like I have a much bigger respect for you and for everything you do. Any idea how many lives you guys have saved over the years?
We treated over 5 million people.
Wow.
And not everyone is saved, of course. Not everyone needed to be saved. Some people were fine, but I would say we save now over 150 people a day that we save. And that is a lot of people. Think about one person that you save. Today you went to call, a person was saved.
Right. So when you're saying saving, you're not just talking about somebody getting stitches. This is like literally 150 people are getting resuscitated every day.
Resuscitated, people with cardiac events that we make a difference, car accidents, shootings, and many other events, drownings.
Yeah.
And these are the events that make a difference. The seconds can make a difference between life and death.
So after seeing people die when they didn't have to, especially that child, you decided to start Hatzalah, and you're running to calls with your friends.
And really quickly, I mean, this is unbelievable. We were 15 volunteers. Within a few weeks, we had already 100 volunteers. And other organizations started in other parts of Israel, in other cities, and other communities started adopting it. And mostly the Orthodox religious Jews in Israel were adopting this model. And the war broke out in 2006, which was
The Lebanon War?
Lebanon War, the second Lebanon War. It was a really bad war. And I was up north helping volunteers who were up in Safat and other cities. And I realized that there isn't enough volunteers and there isn't coordination between the different organizations. And I went ahead and I created, I actually turned out to everyone, I said, let's meet together in a bomb shelter and talk about uniting all the organizations into one. Instead of having a local one in Jerusalem, a local one in Tel Aviv, a local one in Haifa, have one centralized organization.
So
everyone could be coordinated and work together.
So you had all these different Hatzalah organizations that were working differently. Did they have different emergency numbers? Like when you called, what was the number to call? Was it one universal number, or?
So each one was working differently, and they had everyone had a different logo. Everyone had different bylaws. Everyone had different training. Everyone had different fundraising. I said, you know what? When a missile comes from Lebanon, it doesn't make a difference between one person and another person. I want to make one organization for every single person in Israel, Arabs and Jews and Christians and religious Jews and secular Jews and men and women. This was 2006, when a lot of organizations were just local organizations with one type of volunteers. Only men, some of them were only married and Orthodox. And I actually said, you know what, it doesn't make sense. We need to save lives. And I turned to everyone. It was not easy. It was very hard to bring people together. Is very hard. People think it's easy to bring Jews together. Jews together is, you travel to Iraq, you know what it is to bring Iraqians together. I would say Israel is very similar in terms of everyone's their own type. Everyone has their own synagogue. And we had to unite everyone. It was the hardest thing in the world. And it was incredibly successful. And that's what brought to United Hatzalah. Uniting people together for a mission of saving lives. And I think that was the biggest step of my life to take Hatzalah, to bring it into United Hatzalah, to change it from just a Hatzalah, which is important. We were Hatzalah. We made it into United Hatzalah, and you saw in your own eyes how you have different types of people believing in this mission and fighting for other people's lives. When we go to save someone, we don't know who we're going to save. It might be our brother, it might be someone from our synagogue, but it might be someone from a church or a mosque. And that's the beauty of it. Today we're fighting for everyone's life.
Wow. You invented the ambucycle. You reinvented the entire way of thinking about saving lives. It's not about finding out, what kind of call it is. It's about getting someone out to the emergency as soon as possible, and then, do first, ask questions later. And you're constantly opening up new branches around the country and even around the world. So do you want to share this knowledge further with people who are not Jewish, people in other countries, people in other continents? What are you doing to share this amazing accomplishment that you've done and be able to enhance the lives of people elsewhere?
Well, there's no doubt that the credit of Hatzalah started in Brooklyn by incredible people. One of them is a close friend, Herschel Weber, who saw a tragedy that happened in Williamsburg and created Hatzalah. And it's an incredible organization everywhere. All the Jewish communities that have it are benefiting the greatest service. But I think we have to bring it to everywhere in the world. I think everyone should copy this model. Hatzalah should be everywhere. No matter where they are, every country in the world should learn about how simple it is to save people's lives. You could fight for having the best hospital in the country, but if you don't have a fast response, it's worthless. You can have the best doctors, but if someone is not getting oxygen in the first 2 minutes of him not breathing, they're gone. You can't reverse damage, brain damage. And that's what my idea of speaking to you and your channel, where so many people follow you. I want United Hatzalah to be in your country, in your cities. I want this model to be open source to the world.
So are you willing to give over the knowledge and teach people and help them out with whatever they need to make that happen?
Definitely. And we'll share all the information. This is not a business. This is a life-saving organization that changed the way Israelis getting help. And I think this could be learned in every university around the world of entrepreneurship, in terms of social entrepreneurship, and a life-saving change. And you could have really a couple of volunteers change the community with United Hatzalah, and I am willing to help establish this everywhere.
Amazing, thank you. So earlier today, on the first call I went on with the ambulance, there was an old man who had choked on a shawarma, and he was literally out, and they did CPR for a long time and eventually brought him back. And we are going to end off the day right now by having some shawarma, and hopefully we're going to stay safe.
Well, I always say shawarma could kill you. And I always meant in terms of the fat and cholesterol. but it could literally kill you if you don't eat it properly. But if you're eating shawarma, you rather eat the shawarma where you have Hatzalah volunteers, United Hatzalah volunteers around.
Right.
Because this person is back to be alive. They did CPR on him, and he's alive now. And that's the beauty about it. So we're going to have shawarma now, and I'm going to diet. I have to lose 50 pounds. I have a challenge.
By when?
Mark Gerson, our chairman, said if I lose 50 pounds, he will donate $20,000 for every pound I lose. I have to lose it till the end of September. So I'm going to have only a little shawarma, no bread, and some salad. You could have the real shawarma. Yeah,
I'm not doing any weight loss things yet, but I'm thinking about it. But I feel very secure knowing that, God forbid, if something happens, you're right there.
Yeah. So I'm here to make sure your shawarma is going through well. And you keep an eye on me. I shouldn't gain any weight because I don't want to lose $1 million donation.
Okay, I'm not going to let you have any carbs. Thank you, Eli.
Thank you. It was great to spend the day with you.
Likewise, and really just thank you for everything you've done. I got dehydrated a couple years ago in the summer, collapsed, and Hatzalah was there. I actually met the volunteer who helped me today at the call, and a couple of weeks ago my son hit the wall and was knocked out, and Hatzalah was there. So just I've benefited from the organization personally, and everyone I know has benefited from the organization, and keep doing your amazing, holy, and important work.
And our website is easy, israelrescue.org.
Check it out. Donate. This is a very, very important organization. There's nothing more important than saving a life.
israelrescue.org.